Hi, how's it going? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a movie review for you guys. So for this review, I'll be reviewing Batman from 1989. So I will be doing some more movie reviews on this channel, and doing more movie stuff is something that I've been wanting to do on this channel, but I haven't really been that honest about it because, well, if we're being honest here, the majority of my subscribers have followed me because of my music-related content. But if you really look back at this channel's history and, knowing what all I do and stuff, I, of course, don't need to go further into that because it's something that I've stated multiple times. But you would know that the movie stuff is something that's kind of always been a part of this channel. But more recently, I've taken a little bit more passion into it, especially, with, a lot of different movies and stuff. I've checked out a lot of movies in recent time, and yeah, but don't worry, for those of you who prefer my music-related stuff, the music-related stuff is not going anywhere, because I know that some people might take this as that. They might take it as me abandoning all the music-related stuff for the sake of doing more movie stuff. That's not necessarily what's going on, all right? I do want to do an equal amount of both, you could say. If you don't like it, oh well, because I'll be honest, the reason that I've been kind of hesitating doing more movie-related stuff is because I know that a lot of you guys do prefer my music-related stuff, But as of now, when it comes to the music-related stuff, I feel like I'm just running out of ideas. Like, I feel like I've done all the rankings, all the, top songs, There's just nothing really to talk about in the world of music as of this moment. But of course, I'll probably think of something sometime soon. But either way, I want to talk about Batman from 1989. This stars Michael Keaton as Batman. And this movie is a classic. It definitely is. Now, what do I think of Michael Keaton as Batman? I think he definitely deserved his place as Batman. I think he did a good job, and his portrayal of Batman in this movie was pretty solid, I think. And I wasn't really too familiar with Michael Keaton's Batman for a while. Now, I did see Batman Returns, which he was in a while ago, like way back in the day, like back in the early 2000s or something. And that was like really the only Michael Keaton Batman film that I saw before checking this one out. I actually checked out Batman Returns first. And that was on TV one time, I think, and that was like years ago, so, and I've only seen it once, so there you go. But Batman. This movie, I think it's solid. Now, I know that some people might pass up on this movie because they're aware of when this movie came out, and maybe they're passing it up due to fear of the cheesiness of this movie. Because, yes, a lot of movies back in this day were very cheesy, not very high quality, but that was the charm of a lot of these movies, Now, yes, this movie does somewhat suffer from the cheesiness, but it's done decently, I think. It's still enjoyable to watch. It still has somewhat of a serious tone to it. And the characters, interesting characters for sure. The Joker is the villain in this one. And, yeah, the Joker in this movie, not bad. I think the Joker in this movie was fine. Now, is he my favorite Joker? I'm not sure. But, it's kind of interesting because, in this movie, he has this whole plot of releasing all this gas that makes everyone, laugh, because he's, like, stuck with his smile and stuff, so he's all about the smiles, basically. And, it kind of goes a little bit into Batman's origin as well, which we already know at this point, he loses his parents really young and things like that. Yeah, there are some moments in this movie where, you could tell the special effects are definitely of its time, especially with the parts with the Batmobile. Whenever he pulls that shield up on the Batmobile, like, you can definitely tell that, that's very dated, but, I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate that about this movie. Just, you know, the cheesiness of it. And that's the thing about a lot of movies like this, is you really got to go into these movies with a specific mindset. Like, you got to kind of look at these movies as if you're living during this time. You're living in the late 80s. And, you know, I'm sure this movie was a hit when it came out. You know, this was probably the talk of the town when this movie came out. So you got to kind of look at it like that. Like, this was like the next big thing back then. Like, put yourself in the shoes of someone living in the late 1980s and just appreciate this film for what it is. And I think it still kind of holds up, to be honest. Yeah, the action as well. Not really that much choreography as well, you know, especially when, you know, the fight scenes are going on with Batman, you know. Obviously, a lot of the fight scenes in today's comic book movies, and just a lot of movies of today in general, there's a lot more choreography, a lot more going on. Very stylistic. In this movies, you know, there's, you know, some bad guys going after Batman, and Batman takes them out with, like, one kick, you know? So there's a lot of things like that as well in this movie where, you know, it's not like over the top, you know, overly cinematic or whatever. But again, that's kind of the charm with a lot of these movies, and I do appreciate it, you know. And I enjoyed this film for what it was, you know, definitely not bad. The ending where, of course, Joker is at the top of that cathedral or whatever, and Batman, all of them are up there. I mean, that's one of the highlights of this movie for sure. And, you know, one of my main complaints with this movie, it's kind of a little nitpick, actually. Some people might not even notice it, but it's actually the amount of times that the girl in this movie screams. I feel like she screams way too much in this movie. Like, it just seems like she screams over every little thing that happens. Like, there's one part where someone was in an apartment somewhere. I think it was the Joker, and he, like, smashes this mask, and she screamed over that. I mean, that part, I was like, okay, if this movie came out today, they would have not put that part in the movie. But that's just my take. But yeah, this movie here, Batman, played by Michael Keaton, it's a solid movie. Obviously, it's not going to be the same quality as the Batman, which came out earlier this year, or even the Dark Knight trilogy. But this movie is still pretty good if you haven't watched it yet. If you're looking for a classic superhero movie to watch, definitely check out Batman. It's definitely a good one. So let me know what you guys think. If I were to give this movie a score, I'll probably give it either an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. It's a very good movie. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Take care.